I'll just say, hey, everybody, welcome to our little get-together thing. Right now, we're going to talk about MetaZoo a little bit because I feel like that's what a lot of people have been talking about. And yeah, I think I might be able to get a box, hopefully, from the East Coast. Shreddy's excited too. He might be able to get a box too. And yeah, so I just wanted to give my feel, and then I want to hear East Coast feel, and then Shreddy's just kind of learning about this right now, really, right? Yeah, and then we'll see what he has to say. But all right, so from what I know and what I've seen a lot of people talk about is we have this MetaZoo thing come out. They have like, what is it, like Loch Ness Monster, Sasquatch, aliens, Chupacabra, and they're kind of going for that old kind of Pokemon look. They have the first edition stamp right now, and the first edition ones, those stamps look kind of like the Japanese first edition stamps. And it's exciting, and the things have just been selling like crazy, and they've been like reselling on eBay for like crazy prices. And I'm excited. Like, if I could get one of these boxes for like close to MSRP, then I totally will. I'm not the one to buy it for like the crazy prices on eBay right now, because like East Coast said before we recorded, it's like a fun risk. it's at that price right now. If you get it, it's like a fun risk investment, and I see that too. The things that I'm worried about is how much they're selling for on eBay. Like, who are the people that are going to open these packs and actually play with them, the first edition? And they're selling out so fast. Like, I feel like it's hard for people to get that connection to actually play the game. So is the game going to be something that people are actually going to enjoy playing, and is it going to be keeping up, or is it just going to be looked at as I buy it and sell it for higher, they buy it and sell it for higher, and they don't really have that connection, they don't really play the game, they don't really see anything else besides just like buy it and play for higher? Because like the art itself too, I don't find like the quality of, I haven't held one in person, but just from what I've been seeing on videos, it doesn't look that exciting to me, the card art. It doesn't. Some people are like, oh yeah, it looks like old Pokemon. Like, it doesn't look like Sugimori to me. It doesn't look like I read it to me, the card art. So and I don't see little kids like getting excited about this. Like, they're gonna grow up and be like, oh yeah, this is what we had when we were young. At least not yet. It's very, very, very early on. I think that, and that's why I want to get it, because it still is very, very early on, and who knows where it's gonna go. But I think it's a fun thing to get it for MSRP, but like my expectations of it like being crazy 5 years from now are just like, are low. I'm not about to just throw the bank at MetaZoo. I just want to get something because it's like a cool little piece of time right now. Everyone's crazy about it. And if you can get something for like around MSRP, then it's like, yeah, shoot, I'll do it. All right. What do you think about East Coast? How do you feel about it?
So I was actually part of the live breaking of a box. Shout out to Grade 2 B Pokey and the Monarchs that actually let me get in on that. I thought that was awesome. So everyone was skeptical in the beginning of this. It was actually created like last year. I think Michael he's the guy who actually made MetaZoo, and he started a Kickstarter campaign, and it sold out. There were sample packs beforehand, and then they created the first edition Cryptid Nation box. Now, the reason I want to bring up MetaZoo is that I actually really like the art, because like what I like is the holo, and then the reverse holo, it's really hard because it's only the character icon that's actually holo, and everything else is non-holo. And all the
like the old shining Pokemon.
You're right, exactly. Okay. I really think that's really interesting. And I think it's I think for the artwork is what I really enjoy, and that's why I'm like so into it right now, is because I really actually think that some of these like old cryptids that they created, just like, the Sasquatch, Mothman, all these other things, it's exciting to see them, in a holo form. And I think that's really fun to collect. And every art is hand drawn, which I thought was really cool as well. A couple of things about MetaZoo is that, a lot of people are questioning the playability of it, because, it's still something new. They've got something weird, and it's interestingly weird, is that it's called a fourth dimension aspect. So let's say me, you, and Shreddy are playing this card game, right? So when we play it, there's going to be elements outside. Like, so for example, if you live near a city, that card is going to actually, you can play that card and it'll actually boost your characters. So stuff like that, that's what I found really cool.
I remember seeing something like that. They said like if you went to a funeral in the last 90 days or something like that, then this is now more powerful or something.
Exactly. It was very interesting because there's this element of having a fourth dimension involved, which I thought was very cool. But I haven't played it personally. Right now, I'm just collecting it for the artwork. I know that it's kind of hard to market because you don't have an anime attached to it, or you don't really have like a, strong, show, or, how are you going to get the media to know what this is? So social media has been driving MetaZoo right now, and it's kind of like in its early stages. So that's why I think it's so much fun, because nobody knows where it's going to go. It's kind of like it's a really cool aspect that they created. And I think the artwork is still going to keep continuing to climb. Gary, the Real King Pokemon, was also doing box breaks earlier, showcasing it. And, I've talked to artists that are actually going to possibly be involved in MetaZoo. So I think that's phenomenal. I just don't know where. I think it's too early to tell. We have something concrete like Pokemon, which we all love. It'll be kind of cool to see if this is like its sister. And I'm going to give the floor to Shreddy to see, his aspects on it, who's also a pretty big trading card collector. So
I don't have a clue what MetaZoo is, guys. I'm going to be the only thing I've seen on MetaZoo is people on Instagram with the boxes getting it, and then I've seen one or two YouTubers talk about it, but it just keeps it crept up on me out of nowhere. And so the fourth dimension thing, I did hear, I can't remember who it was, but there was a YouTuber talking about it the other day. I think it was something like if it's snowing outside, then an attack. So I think from playability, it's not going to really work. I think if it was like I don't know, like say if it was like a DS game, a Switch game, or play on the PlayStation, the Xbox, and like there was some kind of story to do with it, and it was like an RPG game, and I don't know, like there's a quest to do. Like I don't know if you guys played the old Yu-Gi-Oh games on the DS, like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, not on the DS. No.
Yu-Gi-Oh. No, I think it was on Game Boy Advance. Sorry, the old Yu-Gi-Oh games. It was like you would play as Yugi or Joy, or you'd play as a character, and you'd walk around the world map, and there's like a story, and the battle system was obviously like the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. So what you explained there with the fourth dimension thing, I could see that working for a computer game. So like say if your character, I don't know, was like you came from a snow region, or you had certain items equipped that would make your cards more powerful or something like that. But for playing like, I don't know, imagine you're playing that game online. Like, you've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Online, Pokemon TCG online. Imagine playing an online version of that game. Like, how is that funeral check going to work? Like, even at a tournament, people can lie about going to a funeral, or you can lie about what city you're from or where you live. And I don't know, it sounds, is it meant as a serious thing, or is it meant as almost like just a bit of a joke card game?
Actually, the guy who created it is actually going to be traveling through all like the collecticons, and there are going to be MetaZoo tournaments. There's like Discords totally talking about this stuff.
And
I wonder if that's. Yeah, I was just going to say, I wonder if that'll make it more. My light's bugging me, but I was like, I wonder if that's going to make it more collectible, because like this is the very like introduction to it, and what do they work these things out? Like they're like, oh, this sounds really cool, and then the generations later, they're like, oh yeah, we can't do that. We can't do this. Yeah. So they're gonna be like, oh, you got that crazy card that's banned and all that other thing. That's a system that they tried to work out. But yeah, I don't play professionally anything, but yeah, those issues do seem to.
I know what you're saying, East Coast, about the like there's no anime attached to it and things like that. So yeah,
it's gonna be people in our generation getting.
I was going to say because there's no anime attached to it.
Yeah.
To me, that would suggest it's more, well, one, it's a Kickstarter, a small project, so there's no budget behind it, but also it sounds like it's aimed at adults, not kids. Whereas if you look at Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it is, things having anime attached to it, it typically aimed at children. And then, the nostalgia is what keeps us in the hobby.
That's what keeps me in Pokemon. Yeah, I agree.
Magic the Gathering, when I was a kid, I didn't know what Magic the Gathering was. I only knew what it was kind of when I was a teenager and older. So Magic doesn't have like an anime or a manga or a comic. I don't think that has a comic or anything like that tied to it, because it's just a card game. So maybe like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Was MetaZoo created as like a legit thing? Was it created as a spoof? I'm not too sure. But going on about the art, it doesn't give me old school Pokemon vibes. I don't know if that's kind of like a marketing message that was pushed out early, and then fanboys done and tried to like force the narrative of that. Because I've seen some of the cards and the booster box, and like nothing. In no way, shape, or form do I look at things.
All right. Have you guys? I want you guys, David. I want you to go ahead and put a Mothman photo on the side of this.
All right, it's so funny because that's the one I just opened up because like while you're saying this, I've been going through, and Mothman is the one that I just topped up.
And then after that, I want you to look up Lizard Man. Look up those cards. I want you. These are my two favorite cards. When I saw them open live and I like saw it like being done, I was like, man, this artwork is pretty cool. Like just
Mothman
to have
looks cool. Mothman looks cool.
Just to have like a story behind, like it's all these cryptids are from folklore. That's why it's so interesting just to see the Bigfoot.
Kind of like, I don't know what it's called, but you know, like in Godzilla, you've got like the monsters kind of have the like. I'm going to say real monsters. Obviously, they're not real. Godzilla's not real. But
whoa.
Slow down there, buddy.
Godzilla's not what?
I'll be saying Santa's not real next.
Wait.
No, what?
Have they took pre-existing monsters and creatures from other franchises, or have they created their own kind of unique monsters? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so let me kind of explain that. So all these cryptids, there's a whole storyline behind it. And when you get the booster box, it comes with a big map, and there's a certain amount of cryptids that are in the world, like the natural folklore world. And what they do is they take folklores like Bigfoot, like, you know, there's a Jersey Red Devil. I really like that one too. That card's beautiful as well. But they put them into art form, original art form, and all these cryptids. The goal is that you are on a journey to collect these mythical creatures, and you get these like cryptids. Like you have to kind of help the world. So I thought that was very interesting. Like they're out in the world, and you use these guys to collect them and kind of, you know, bring peace to the world. I thought that was very cool.
Okay.
So I'm on the website now looking through.
Yeah, take a look, Shreddy. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And while I'm looking and while Shreddy's looking, so okay, that's a cool story, and I love unsolved mysteries and that kind of stuff. Yeah, you looking at them?
And this does not look like old school Pokemon. Although saying that, there's a guy here, Indrid Cold, who kind of looks like a Giovanni spoof.
Yeah, there's a little. Yeah. There are. You'll see little similarities there, Shreddy. I mean, but I think the storyline and things that are coming about is it's pretty cool. I don't know how it's going to market to kids. I don't know how it's going to market to.
I don't think it's aimed for. My initial impression is it's not aimed at kids. I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, more like the Magic Age and other stuff.
Yeah, teenagers.
Some of the cards get pretty gory. Like honestly, like some of them get pretty like you know, there's like a couple of them that are, you know, borderline. They don't run away from gore on these cards themselves, which I thought was pretty cool.
I'm not really a fan of the art. It almost looks like, I'm not saying this is an insulting way. I can see this is the art style I've gone for, but it almost looks like kids' drawings.
It's original artwork, so that's probably why you're thinking that's Shreddy. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like in class, you'd have like the cool, like the high school kid who can draw really well, and he's like playing around in class. He's like, oh yeah, this is my Lizard Man. I like the Mothman a lot. I'm looking at the Lizard Man, but I could see like, oh yeah, that guy likes, you know, he wants to be a tattoo artist. He likes drawing, and this is like his playing around drawing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's what do you guys think about this character, the Piazza bird, also the Piazza dragon? What do you guys think about that? Can you guys see that? I like that. I mean,
Piazza dragon.
Yeah.
How would you spell that? I'll do a Google search.
I know. I'm just guessing. It looks like
Piazza bird.
METAZOO.
Do you know how you can figure out how rare they are? Switch.
Yeah, so the Mothman's like one of the ones that are, it's like a chase card. You know, this is it's kind of like you're a spellcaster, and each player has a maximum amount of cards, and in order to win, they have to kind of have like 1,000 life points at the end, and you must reduce the other person's life points. So it's kind of like battling with these cards and spellcasting.
But how do you know if it's a chase card or not? Like,
sorry. All beasties, they're called beasties. All of them have like a rarity symbol and kind of like a those are like the Mothman's like the Charizard for MetaZoo.
So why is Mothman the chase card? Like, what's special about him?
I just think it's like he's just like one of the rare beasties to collect. That's it. There's not as much in circulation and stuff.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, there's I've seen a silver star, I've seen a gold star, I've seen the K. I'm just wondering if any of those symbols mean anything. Like, there might be 3-star rarity, hyper rare, silver thing, or secret rare. You know how you can like find those things in Pokemon. Is there a thing where I can look and be like, oh, this is Mothman is 1 out of 500 cards, or 1 out of something, or it's like, or this is like that super rarity because it has a silver star instead of a gold. Like same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh, how you'd see like the letters, the text, and it'd be different things. Do you know, is there anything like that?
I think there is. I haven't really dived into it too much, to be honest, and I'm not going to kind of say, you know, what it is exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But the storyline is that magic was hidden behind a great veil, and they put that veil is now getting it's disappearing. So now there's all these mystical creatures that are coming into the world. You have to collect beasties, spells, and artifacts to kind of control and kind of bring it to peace, ultimately.
Is the guy who made this game, it looks like he's called Michael, was he like an artist? Is he the one that drew them, or what? Like,
honestly, I don't know. And I have him on a live. I have a scheduled live with him that we might have coming up in the future with him. I don't know if he commits to it or not, but, you know, he said that he wants to come in and kind of talk about the trading card game. It's all based off his, like, idea in his head, which I thought was pretty cool. But
yeah. I mean, if, like, obviously it's a new thing, so I'm all for, you know, people starting new businesses and brands, and this is obviously, like, a new card game, so hopefully it works out, but there's just nothing really like that I've seen that makes me think, oh, that looks really, like, if I was looking to invest money into something different that wasn't Pokemon, I would probably be drawn to like Dragon Ball, because I'm a Dragon Ball, like me personally, I would go to Dragon Ball because I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, and the artwork on those cards looks really cool. I'd maybe go and revisit Yu-Gi-Oh, because I used to really enjoy collecting and playing the Yu-Gi-Oh card game when I was younger. I just picked up 2 of the Digimon boxes recently because I was into Digimon when I was younger. So I think there's, like, for me personally, there's other established franchises out there.
Got it.
Not always good when, you know, there's a brand new franchise. This just looks like it's a small team, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, they're like multi-million dollar organizations. So it's good to see like a small team or just a single guy being able to put something together and do something. So hopefully it works out. Like, but now for me, the artwork, it's just, I'm not saying the artwork's bad. It's just, I don't like the style of the art, if that makes sense, but I'm not saying it's bad. It's just,
so I am going to kind of get you guys on the MetaZoo train. And if we can get boxes, each of you are going to get a box and you're going to try to rip it. And I want you guys to show me what you think. That would be, I think it's, let me just say this. It's all, you know, fun and games, but you have to see it for yourself to kind of see what it feels like, you know? And I don't know what it's going to be. I do love Dragon Ball Z cards, though. They're so cool. Like, they're probably the coolest holo cards I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't even know how to collect Dragon Ball Z, because for me, it was just watching the anime, and the Cell series was like my favorite. So I just remember that I stopped watching Dragon Ball after the Cell series. So
right, so yeah, there's loads after. So then they brought the saga, there was like the Boo saga. Then there was GT. Then they relaunched Dragon Ball a few years ago with Super. So the new card game is based around Super.
It's insane, dude. I can't even. but I do love. I always wanted like Goku. Now I'm going on a tangent, but I really wanted Goku and Vegeta to evolve to higher Super Saiyans, and then they did it, and I was just like, I like lost my like mind when they fused or whatever. I thought that was so
they
cool.
Fused.
Yeah,
yeah, that sounds not that's bad. It sounds a little homosexual. Maybe I don't know.
They fused.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just saying I didn't think it would go in that direction.
The Dragon Ball train.
Yeah. All right, so going back to MetaZoo, just give it a shot, guys. I mean, what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
I'll say something positive. Like looking at these cards, like I just found another one. I found a couple that I really like. I like the artwork. Like there's this Chibi Quatsa or something like that. And like you were saying, the story of collecting these like metas, these beasties like that. Yeah, that connects with me, like with the Pokemon thing. Like I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, and I wasn't into collecting those cards. With Yu-Gi-Oh, it was cool because in the anime they actually have the cards, and you want to have the cards of the character. And if you have that Dark Magician as a little kid, it's like I do have the power of the Dark Magician, and I can put that card down. He's gonna come, and and with Pokemon, it's like I have that Charmander, and in the anime you catch Charmander. Charmander's your buddy, and you have it around with you. So with MetaZoo, actually like collecting these creatures and like that card represents that creature that you're going around and getting, like that kind of connects with me, and I see how that's like going for the Pokemon collector in me. So that's cool, and I do like these things.
What you mentioned the Dark, so I completely relate to that with the Yu-Gi-Oh, because in the anime they're always banging on about the heart of the cards and
exactly.
Playing the card game, all you want is that blue eyes. Because when I was a kid, the Kaiba's starter deck was way better than the Yugi starter deck. Because the blue eyes had like 3,000 attack, and the Dark Magician had 2,500s. The Kaiba deck was way overpowered. So like in real life, like they can bang on in the anime about us. The heart of the cards and friendship was what wins battles. But in real life, all you need is that blue eyes right dragon. That's what's winning you the games.
Dude, so I think we'll conclude on the MetaZoo, and I guess it's
we'll get a box each year, and we'll do a video like this. And
that would be awesome. I'm gonna try to coordinate that. I'm gonna try to see if we could do that, and that'd be so cool to have your reactions while we're all doing it at the same time. We should do a box break together.
At the minute, is there just like one set? Like Pokemon, you had the base set, then Jungle and Fossil. With MetaZoo, is it just the one set so far, or have they got multiple sets, or how does that work?
It's just the starting. So they had sample packs before that, and then right now it's going to be the first edition booster box of Cryptid Nation. That is the one that's coming out. And there's so many scalpers on eBay right now, and I know the creator hates the scalpers. He literally does not. He wants everything at MSRP, so he's trying to source it. The problem is that we're all running into the same issue with trading cards right now. Printing right now is becoming very tough with the COVID, and I don't know, there's a limited supply, so we'll see.
Yeah. That's another thing too. Yeah.
When you've mentioned about the supply issue, because obviously at the minute that's a big thing with Pokemon. There's not enough being printed and things like that. Obviously, if MetaZoo's having that problem, the problem's at the print, like at the manufacturer level or the print level. Do you think in maybe a year's time, this demand, not just for Pokemon, but for trading cards in general, is going to be a lot less than it has been the past year or so? Or do you think it will maintain?
So let me just kind of get into that, Shreddy. That was a great. Shreddy's hitting like high value stuff right now.
We have to change for Shreddy. He normally has all those low value questions.
He's like, I'm like, yo, bro, what the hell?
All right. What I think before I ask you guys, I think you're going to see the demand, and I mentioned this specifically about Pokemon towards the end of last year. As the world starts opening back up, lockdowns are lifted. In the UK, we've been out of lockdown for a couple of weeks now, and restaurants are opening back up, and pubs and bars and things like that are opening back up. We can't fly on holiday yet, but in a few months, you'll be allowed to fly out the country and things like that. I think as other countries start to be able to do that, and you can travel and have holidays and do whatever, I think that people are going to be spending the money. They're going to be out the house more. They're going to be spending the money on other hobbies. So I'm not saying that any of these hobbies are going to die, but I think the general demand for this form of entertainment and this product is going to drop a little bit across the board, whether it's Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, MetaZoo, I don't know, like whatever it might be, purely because people will be spending money elsewhere because there's so much demand now. The printers are backed up. I know I've heard like these reports that there's some new print machines coming out end of this year, next year to kind of keep up the demand. But I don't think the demand will sustain like this time next year. But I'm interested in what you guys think.
So I'm gonna. Do you want to go ahead, David, or you want me to? Whatever you prefer. I'll tell you my view.
First, I think this will be awesome. I'll say thank you. We'll end this MetaZoo one, and then we'll start with this one right here. Talking about the things. So thank you guys so much for checking out that MetaZoo. We're about to talk about where we think the hobby's going to go with all these printings and with COVID ending. Yeah, so check the next video out if you want to see that.
Check our next video.
Okay.